Hello! Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to HisLookHerLook Gaming. This week, we're talking about one of her favorite games,
Just Cause 3.
So, Just Cause 3 is by Square Enix and Avalanche Studios. It was produced by Square Enix. And the first Just Cause and the second Just Cause, because this is a series, or I guess technically a trilogy. I think there's talks of making a 4. The first two were done by Avalanche and Eidos Studios. Released December 1st, 2015 on PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
But yeah. So, this game is a great, introduction to getting someone into more shooty type games.
Different genres. Something that they're not used to playing.
But no, this game, it's really great. It's an open world, but it doesn't feel too big. Like, you know how Skyrim, it just feels like there's so much to explore? Well, you get a lot to explore, but it's not, so much that you're going to die before you complete it all.
The whole story of the game is you play a wonderful man named Rico who has this tyranny tyrant. That's
A tyranny tyrant.
Good adjective word say. A tyrannical overlord, emperor, captain, dude, whatever, takes over his home country. So he goes back to his home country and proceeds to viva la revolution all over the place.
All over the place.
Just like in the first ones, there's chaos, there's destroying stuff, there's doing whatever you want. You can fly planes, you can drive boats, you can tether a car to a helicopter and use it as a wrecking ball into the side of a building.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Well, not a building, but, explosive stuff.
Well, you could do it in the side of a building.
It just wouldn't blow up the building.
It'd blow up the car.
It would. Probably the helicopter, too.
Yeah.
Anyway, getting people into genres they don't usually play. I was playing this one day because I just got it for, was it Christmas? I think it was.
Yes, because you got the everything with it.
It was a collector's edition I got, and I got it for Christmas, and so I was playing through it, and, just running around the map, taking over stuff and blowing stuff up, and I had to go to the bathroom, so I went to the bathroom.
And I stole the controller, and he didn't get it for 3 towns later.
So, things we liked about this game.
I mean, yes.
You can't just say yes.
Why not?
Because they need to know what specifically we liked.
Yes.
So it's a big open world, but it's not too big. There aren't hardly any invisible walls.
There's the edges of the map, but if you reach the edges of the map, you're trying really hard.
It's a big map.
Because the edges of the map are in the ocean.
Beautiful scenery, the mountains, everything. You're driving through the lakes and the ports you visit in your boat. It's all completely beautiful. There's several airfields actually, which is really cool. Getting in a giant jet and just taking off, it's so much fun.
Yep. But so this game, one of my favorite things is that you don't actually have to use a gun. You can use the tethers. So you tether one tether to a gas tank thing, then you tether the other one to the ground, and you basically explode the gas tank by connecting it to the ground.
Or you can connect it to
people,
an enemy, AI, and go flying into the air like I have a rocket.
You can attach it to cars, helicopters.
Just about anything, really.
Yeah.
You can also blow up bridges. You can derail trains.
Yes.
It's very fun.
Yes, that part's fun.
So it's also another thing we liked about it, and she liked in particular. It's easy to learn. It's easy to pick up.
Oh yeah, very easy to pick up.
It's not overly complicated controls. It flows very nicely. It's easy to switch between using your wingsuit or using your parachute or zip lining everywhere because you have a grappling hook and that's how you travel.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to walk.
Yep. No need to walk.
Grapple from mountain to hill to mountain to whatever you want to do. As far as things we didn't like or as things that were a little bit of a disappointment,
sometimes the boats handle way better than the cars. Like, There was one moment when I was trying to do one of the collectible jumps, and it took me 3 cars because they all kept, driving off the side of a cliff because they couldn't turn properly.
That being said, things not functioning as they should. The AI is not awful. It's slightly better than average. But there are moments when they're not always right on their, cues or whatever, and so you'll be playing along and you'll, go to attack them, and you'll have one guy, coming at you and the other guy, running into a staircase trying to get at you.
They're about as intelligent as the Monarch's goons from Venture Bros.
Yeah, that's apt.
Yeah. I mean, they'll be coming after you, and all you gotta do is hide in a corner that doesn't have any direct lines of sight to them, and you're good.
Speaking of collectibles, there are tons of collectibles in the world. There are vintage parts that you can dig up to make guns, to make planes. There are cars that you can go out and collect you have a collection of cars that you can call in for your drops at any time you want, but you have to go out and actually collect the cars.
And take them to a garage.
You were saying?
There's cassette tapes, which are actually plot heavy. You kind of need to get the full plot.
They detail, if you're more interested in the story of it, if you collect all of them, and there's a good chunk. There's 70?
I don't know. There's a lot of them.
If you collect them, it illustrates this, guy who's in power now. It illustrates his rise to power and how he came to be the bad emperor, tyranny, tyrant. He became a tyranny tyrant, and that's what happened.
Well, another thing that was a little bit aggravating is some of the challenges can be really difficult.
So you have the towns you take over, and then you have special challenges around the map, like the wingsuit challenges, or there's races, there's boat races, there's plane races, there's and when I say races, it's more like the waypoint racing, where you go through circles and stuff. There's also stunt jumps, stuff like that. But the challenges can be on the difficult edge, depending on what you're doing. You have a set par time for each number of gears that you're trying to get, and you want to get 5 in all of them because that unlocks different mods for your weapons and equipment and gears and stuff, or your gear and stuff. And the higher end challenges that, to get all 5 gears, sometimes it's really difficult.
Yeah. And honestly, to unlock everything in the game, you need to clear all the challenges.
Yeah. If you want to 100% it, you need to clear all the challenges, and that's frustrating.
Yes, very much so. And you had a disappointment with it, but...
Yeah, it gets a little repetitive towards the end of the game. I've played it, I've beaten it, I love it. You got... How far did you get? I mean, you're still working on it.
Yeah, but that's because I'm doing it the way you're not supposed to do it. I'm clearing pretty much the entire map before I do the main missions.
Which you can do. I will say, you can do that. It takes a while, because you don't have your equipment upgraded, because you haven't gotten stuff from some of the main missions.
So that's another reason you really need to do the challenges as well, because it'll upgrade what you've got.
Right. But yeah, towards the end it started to get repetitive, because it's a lot of more of the same. Now, I will say, there is some variance in the outposts, because when you get to the second island, there's a lot of quarries and stuff, which is kind of neat because they're big.
Third island.
Yeah, excuse me.
Third island.
Because they're big and open, and you have to figure out how you're going to do it, which is really kind of cool. I resorted to just getting in a jet and bombing them, back and forth, just making bombing run passes, and it cleared it out very quickly.
And that just seems too cheaty to me. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way and snipe everyone's ass.
Right. So that's the only complaint I had. I mean, it's fun. Don't get us wrong. It's a solid game. It's really fun. It's just some minor gripes we have. Okay, why is there Skyrim cars written on the piece of paper?
So, you know how in Skyrim the horses can basically traverse upward angles and cliff faces effectively? Well, so can some of the cars in this game.
Really?
Yes.
I've not actually tried that.
There's one that's basically a buggy.
Yeah.
And it will do angles of upwards of, that or that.
All right.
And you can drive sideways on these angles to get to your destination.
That's funny.
I mean, if you try to drive completely up them and you go too fast, you're going to catch some air.
Yeah.
But it's pretty fun. So I call them Skyrim cars now.
So I recommend this if you want to have a fun game that you want to pick up, play with your honey, your player 2, whatever. It's really fun. We fight over the system a little bit more than most people. That's because, like, right now, and we'll get to this in a minute, way down the road we'll get to it, but right now I'm on an Assassin's Creed kick, and right now I am playing through 4 and Syndicate, and I love both of them dearly. So we have to fight for the console every once in a while because I mention the phrase Just Cause, and she's like, I want to play. I want to play it all day. Play it all night.
I really like blowing stuff up, and if you like blowing stuff up, you're going to love this game.
Like, for real, like, it's not a bad game. Don't get the gripes wrong. They're very minor gripes. Like, it's a lot of fun. What would you give it out of 10?
I give it an 8.5, somewhere between a 9 and an 8.5, so maybe an 8.75.
Okay.
But I really like blowing stuff up.
See, and I gave it a 7.5 to an 8, and that's only because after a while it starts to get a little repetitive for me. And I know what you're saying. I can hear you right now through the screen. You're screaming at you. You're going, you idiot. But Assassin's Creed does the same thing too. Yes, but in Assassin's Creed I can be super stealthy and hum my own theme music and no one else can hear it. Shink!
Okay, shut up, Kronk.
It's fantastic. Anyway, so... have we covered everything we need to cover? I think we have.
I think we have.
All right, so that was Just Cause 3 from HisLookHerLook. Next week, we will be reviewing Borderlands, the Handsome Jack Collection. So that's Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel.
I leave you with this. Go get this game, especially if you want to just go, boom.
I made a bridge. Look how long it took. 2 seconds. Boom.
More like I destroyed a bridge.
And derailed the train that was on it.
Boom.
Bye-bye.
Bye.